yes, public speaking is a top fear around the world. In fact, when people are rating their fears annually, it is in the top fears, the top 3 usually, and sometimes it's ranked above death itself. So people would rather die than get up and speak in front of an audience. It just creates these high levels of anxiety and fear in people. The heart starts beating, the butterflies in the stomach, the hands are sweating, the knees and hands are shaking uncontrollably, right? It's just this visceral response that people have. And the more I've worked with people, it's not something I've ever been afraid of. I'm one of those weird people that loves getting up in front of people and talking. It doesn't bother me. But the more I've worked with people and with my students and things like that to understand what's driving it, a lot of it's fear of judgment or fear of messing up or not being perfect. And so some of the best tips that I can give is to understand, A, when you're getting up there, you're doing something that most people are too afraid to do, and they respect you for just getting up there in the first place. So you've already earned their respect. So even if you mess up or something goes wrong, unless you're this professional speaker that's expected to be perfect at all times and getting paid tens of thousands of dollars an hour or hundreds of thousands of dollars an hour to speak, most people aren't going to be judging you if you make a whoopsie, right? It's going to be, wow, they were so brave for getting up there and they recovered nicely. And there are a lot of little tips that you can follow in order to help with that fear and anxiety. One is to do some light exercise before you go and get up in front of a crowd. That will help to release some of that nervous energy. You don't want to overdo it so that you're completely exhausted, right? But it'll help to release some of that nervous energy, boost your endorphins, help you feel a little better. Another tip is to do some breathing and meditation beforehand. You can also visualize yourself just doing an amazing job. Every time I go to give a presentation or a speech, as long as I've been doing it, I still visualize myself just killing it up there and seeing that crowd giving me a standing ovation or whatever it is at the end. And I'll play music that pumps me up and gets me excited to be there. Another way you can help reduce some of those jitters and anxiety is to avoid any kind of caffeine before you speak. People will drink coffee right before they go on or tea or something because they think the caffeine is going to keep them alert, but that actually increases the anxiety in your body. So eliminate that. And then another really big tip is people try to memorize their speeches, or they'll write out a speech or a presentation word for word and try to follow along with the script. It's really important not to do that. That may seem like it's helpful, but then you get all this anxiety about making sure you don't miss a single word, or if you're memorizing it, that you don't forget what's happening, or if you're following an exact script, if you lose your place, it can throw you off for the entire presentation, and all of a sudden you've just lost it, right? So it's better to have bullet points and more of a guide or outline for what you want to say and how you want to say it, because then you have some flexibility and you can move with it. And you can also adapt to the audience. If you see that, pay attention to your audience, make eye contact. If you see that they're not following along, or maybe they're getting really excited about one thing but not as excited about another, you can adjust now because you're not stuck to a very specific script. And then to the point is, if you do mess up, shake it off and keep moving on. One of the things that people forget is nobody else has their outline. Nobody else has their script. Your audience members don't know exactly what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. So if you mess up, the only way they're going to know is if it's a glaring error. Like I was at MasterCard giving a series of presentations, and I was talking. I'm Italian, I talk with my hands a lot. I was talking, and the little clicker went flying across the room in front of a room full of people. So I just made a joke about it, went and picked it up and kept going. Everybody had a laugh, and then they were paying attention. Don't let little things like that, like missing a word or getting off track or dropping something in front of a huge audience, throw you off. Just shake it off, keep moving forward, and keep going on with your presentation. And chances are you're going to do great, and you're going to reduce your anxiety around it.